the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Naval is like a philosopher and entrepreneur, and he gives like advice on life and business.
Did you enjoy reading it?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like anyone who's like interested in finding like their passion in life, I guess, and like wants to have like a better understanding of money, should definitely read it.
Well, I'm currently reading Die Reihe, which is the first journal of some of the publications of the Studio for Electronic Music of the WDR from the 1950s, where they discuss the new aesthetics that comes with the new instruments and new music in the 50s relating to serial music of the turn of the 20th century. I am quite much concerned with this period because I'm writing my PhD thesis on the audio tape and audio tape recorders.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Harry Potter.
Do you know which Harry Potter? Like
one.
The first one?
Yes.
Did you like the book?
Yes, it's very good.
It's very good. All right.
It's deep work. I don't know which author it is.
Okay.
And I also read Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits is about how you can structure your day and how you can learn better to be focused and to do what you love.
Okay.
And how you can spend your time and build habits to get a better person, like doing sports.
Nice, awesome. So would you recommend reading it?
Yes,
yeah?
for sure.
All right.
Storm of Swords, it's the third one, I think, out of 7. The Game of Thrones series, it's really easy to get into, and the language he uses, it flows. It's easy reading. It's very immersive.
Yeah.
And I like all the politics and all the intrigue and the incest and all the stuff. I love it. What Game of Thrones is about, human nature. There is no good guys, no bad guys. Everybody is a dick in his own way. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There is no middle ground.
It's called The Name of the Wind.
The Name of the Wind.
Yeah, it's originally in English and it's really good. It's very long, but I enjoy it. Yeah.
Is it a fictional book?
Yeah, it's a fictional book. So as far as I'm reading so far, it's about a guy who owns a pub, and it's kind of a bit mystical and just his journey along the way. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would you recommend reading it?
Yeah,
so
for
far?
sure. It requires patience, but it's good.
One of the last good books I read, partially, not completely, was The Courage to Teach by Parker J. Palmer. And what I love about that book is it's really about bringing heart and soul back into education. And one of the things that it basically says, one of the theses that it has, is that the scientific revolution kind of took the heart out of everything. It just looked at the world as this place in which it's just objects bumping up against each other, right? And we're trying to take all of this subjectivity out of everything so that we can understand the world as it truly is. Now this then creates a problem in academia, where we kind of think that true knowledge is knowledge without the subjective, and that the best thing is always to make things as little subjective as possible. The problem with that is that if I were to walk into a classroom, I have 15 or 20 subjective beings sitting across from me, and I'm a subjective being myself. And then we're all gonna act like we're not subjective, so that we can transfer like true information to each other, right?
Yeah.
And we're not just computers, we're not just computational machines in which I'm just going to tell you, hey, this is the information, you just suck it up, and then you send some information back. And that's not how human beings work. We learn through relationships, and we learn through what we make each other feel. And so a lot of that book is, again, about, well, how can you get to the why of why you're teaching, and how can you bring your soul and your personality back into the classroom? Instead of removing your personality from teaching, how can you bring your personality into the classroom to really give it soul again? Instead of asking your students to remove their personality when they come into the classroom, how can you invite them to bring their personality into the classroom so that it then becomes, the classroom becomes a living place in which human beings are interacting with each other as a community of learners instead of just this place where people are just transferring information back and forth. And that was a very inspirational thing to me. And as a teacher also, it makes me feel more connected to my work and to the people I'm working with.
Nice. Would you recommend it to like teachers, or is it also something that's interesting for people that are not necessarily teachers?
That's a good question. I would recommend it also to non-teachers in some sense, but that's also because my philosophy is basically that we're all teachers. But maybe the book is more aimed at teachers, to be honest. But I do believe like there's something to be learned in it for everyone, because we're all learning, we're all teaching. On a deeper level, the book is also on a deeper level about how to just bring soul back into the things that you're doing, how to not be disconnected from the things that you're doing. So I think there might be something for everyone.
So the last book that I read is a collection of short stories by Chekhov.
Okay.
And I mean, they're all classics, but I really like the sort of background of it, like where the setting of the stories, and also there's a lot of wise stuff in this. He was writing in the late 19th century, right? Like in Russia, and it's a lot of like rural settings, like villages, and people having a very difficult life, and always very like sort of close to the common man, like about an old lady in a village as teacher or a doctor or something like that. But you can get a lot about the life, how the life is actually.
Nice. Would you recommend reading it?
Yes, I would recommend it a lot. Or even just like individual stories. Doesn't have to be this particular collection. I don't even remember the name of some of the stories.
What's up, guys? I want to give away one of the books you just saw in the video. All you gotta do is like this video and subscribe, and write a comment letting me know which book you'd like to have. I will announce the winners within 2 weeks on my Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next week.